Welcome back, everybody. The Jaguars franchise continues in the 2031 postseason. We conquered the Steelers in the wild card round, winning 41-13. Now we get to take on the number 1 seed Raiders. But for the third time in 4 years, we are seeing so many players get hurt in these postseason games. It really hasn't been like this during the regular season. And the Steelers, who just played us, didn't have any injuries coming out of that game. I don't know what it is, why this has happened now 3 times, but Kevin Parker is now basically done for the year, and we're probably going to have to sign a couple more free agents that might end up having to play, like we saw last episode when Nico Collins ended up having to replace Kevin Parker. Now, I do believe there's a chance he could be active in the Super Bowl if we get there. There's a bye week after the conference championship game, so I'm hesitant to put these two on injured reserve. I think the biggest question is who replaces Trayvon Walker, because we don't have the same depth that we once did here on the edge. We're going to cut one of our linebackers and go down to 6 total, so Devontae Robinson is released. And here are all the top available free agents. If you have some injuries, these are good names to be out there, even with ratings a lot lower than you would associate with a lot of these players. I do think we're probably better off with the pass rushers we already have. I feel like potentially Ricky Pearsall is the best receiver available, looking at the speed acceleration combo with 88 catching, solid route running. I was considering T. Higgins in this spot, but I really worry about 83 acceleration and him just being able to separate at all anymore. So we're going to bring in Ricky Pearsall and see if he needs to play. What a weird year. So Brian Thomas, he needs to have a good game today. He's by far our best active receiver. Reuben Ross, the young third-year player now, is going to be opposite him. And Nico Collins, Ricky Pearsall, those are the veterans just signed to help get us the rest of the way. And the 2 edge rushers that are now going to step up are Brandon Caldwell and Ed Middleton. If you recall, I added Middleton to this team because of a last-second trade coming out of preseason with the Buffalo Bills. You never know when these players are going to have to play, if they'll ever have to play. But that's what I love about playing franchise and why I don't mind having a little bit higher injury slider than I think most are playing on. What is the slider I use, by the way? Let's take a look. I don't think it's even all that high necessarily. 30. I think default is like 10 or 15. I don't know how long it's been at 30, but it sure feels like it's 130 once we hit the postseason. But we're hoping this ride continues. We take on the Las Vegas Raiders today. Chris Carpenter, 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions for the Raiders this season. Luke Rivers at running back. I mean, yardage-wise, that is right up there with Joe Johnson. Brock Bowers was their leading receiver, Doug Middleton, Charles Livingston, and Rodney McAllister, also plenty of production. Keontae Foster, 10.5 sacks this season, the veteran Jeffrey Simmons, and they're the number 1 seed in the AFC. Their defense has been stout all year, allowing 18.6 points per game, and they're second against the pass. What does that mean for us, a team now without top receiver Kevin Parker? And which number 12 is moving on to the AFC Championship, everybody? Great to be here again in the Jaguars franchise. And we'll see if we only play 1 game today, if we move on. You know, that last episode, I felt like as a 1-game package, it told a good story, especially with some of the injuries in there. So I let it be. We'll see what unfolds here now as we get underway. Division round action with Chuck Johnson, and he's got him open. Reuben Ross on the first play has a 36-yard reception. Coming out the gate swinging here, Joe Johnson taken down on the outside. Good play. Fake to Joe, and it's Chuck on the run, and already looks like 49 flies around the field. That's Costello Third down now. 4 on the rush. Chuck is wrapped up in the pocket and sacked. A great recovery for the Raider defense. And now the 56-yard field goal. Brandon Aubrey starts us off with 3. And there's Chris Carpenter, who only took like a dozen sacks this year, didn't have many interceptions. So it's a Raider offense that doesn't make a lot of mistakes and then punishes you with really good defense and an inefficient but still productive running game. 1,200 yards is still good production even at 3.7 yards per carry. The Raiders will open against the blitz, and all over it there with the tackle, Mike Goodson. I love the way our defense is playing right now. We're so fast. We're not giving up a lot of easy plays underneath. And the linebackers, man, we have not seen this pair play this well before. Edger and Cooper makes that TFL. And I'm going to keep gushing about Chuck Dalton and his recent play. It's going to be Carpenter losing the ball. And that is a 3-and-out. Breaking through, Martin Cooper. He's got to lead the way. Here's Chuck Johnson getting back to it now into Raider territory. Chuck on second down, and this one is caught, and that is the young fullback, Dominic Grenard. I did make sure we had the correct playbook for this game as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't expect a lot of Grenard being used. Nico Collins, the motion man, and Chuck gets chased into the sack. Second of the day for the Raiders, Keontae Foster. Trying to get those yards back, and he's sacked again. And it's seriously 4 already. That might help explain how this team allows 18 yards a game, or 18 points. Chuck is chased again. He's going to get away and turn it into something. Setting up Aubrey again. His second try from 50+. Aubrey is now 2 for 2. And able to get out of the backfield this time. And it's a big play. I think he was pointing out a block. Luke Rivers. Best play for the Raider offense thus far. And now Carpenter flying up the numbers in across the 40. On the screen. Oh, he got away from Telfer. And that is a first down for the Raiders. McAllister. Carpenter pressured, and he got it there, but good coverage from Stanley Billups against Brock Bowers. That's kind of a fun matchup out there. Billups had the interception back in the wild card round, that being a pick 6 that helped seal the game. Raiders now looking for their first points, and Carpenter's pressured again, able to escape and turn it into 4. Both teams getting a lot of pressure, forcing these quarterbacks to use their mobility. Third down for Carpenter, and he's chased again, outruns the pursuit, and goes to the 12-yard line. Raiders, third down, pressure's on, and Carpenter has to get rid of it. I think these touchdowns are going to be extra valuable today. I'm not expecting to see many of them. The pass rush on both sides is just too good. And it's now a 6-3 ball game. A really good run back here. And that is the rookie Gregory Rossum setting us up at the 34. Don't often see the kick returns be anything all that notable. We're going Joe Johnson's way now, and he's been stellar in recent weeks. Running it, Johnson, jump cut, and still going to be taken down by Foster. This is going to be a game all about just tough third downs, who makes the plays, who can get to the end zone twice, because I don't know if either of these teams can score 3 touchdowns this week. Not the way things are looking. Third down, Chuck dropped for the sack. And Jeffrey Simmons is shaken up. A good throw from Carpenter now, and the Raiders put it back into plus territory. Waiting on these offenses to break through, and it's Rivers now, gain of 6. Chased outside and able to find Bowers at the last moment for the first down. 31 yards out, away from Cooper, and there goes Carpenter now across the 20. I guess I don't remember in past matchups running nearly this much. But he's doing a really good job making something out of these plays. But how about these final 15 yards now? You can't really spread the field the same way. Oh my! Did that just happen? Chuck Dalton with a nano blitz, and he brings down Carpenter before he can even hand the ball off. We come out here, double A gap mid blitz. We all love this play, right? And he's going to come through completely unblocked. Right guard misses him. I love that double A gap, man. It gives the offensive line so many dilemmas here in Madden. And now Carpenter, who needs the 5. He's sacked instead by Martin Cooper, who's got a full-time residence in the Las Vegas backfield. It's been all kicks so far, no touchdowns, and we are tied. Deep drop for Johnson, and that one is going to land incomplete. Oh boy, off the edge, flagged down at the last moment. That's got to be on Cosme there for that tackle I just saw. Sure enough, don't expect these offensive lines to be winning any awards right now. As a matter of fact, this is all, of course, January football. You know, the new thing is quarterbacks buying the offensive line Christmas gifts. Time to get a refund, guys. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Even more pressure on Carpenter. It's Cooper. Of course it is. I'm sorry, it's the Coopers. Not just one that time. 3rd down and 18. Just getting it away. And that's a wrap up. Very quick possession for the Raiders. Nice little run back here by Reuben Ross. I'm looking for any excitement, guys. I'm hoping any play could just break out for us. But all right, 3:33 to go in the first half. Let's get Joe Johnson out on the edge. If only he could get there. Uh-oh. Trayvon Briscoe. And he could be out a little bit, at least this drive. Deep drop now for Chuck. Oh, just desperate to get it to Joe Johnson, who gets flattened. Hey, if you guys like defense, this is your game today. There have been only 2 combined 3rd down conversions. Almost a turnover. No touchdowns, and it doesn't seem like one is anywhere close to happening. Inside 2 minutes now, Raiders have it a 3rd and 2. And that is going to be a conversion. Brock Bowers gets out of bounds. No, that's not allowed to happen. Martin Cooper out. This could be temporary if he's on the sideline, but if he's not out there right now, that is a problem. Come on, Ed Middleton. 1st down. Almost picked by Billups. Here's 2nd down, and there's the pressure. 11 combined sacks. This has to stop. Alex Ratliff into the locker room. 3 starting off defensive linemen are now out of the game. Big run up the middle. Don't give it to him, guys. A long way to go on this possession. Does anybody actually think we're getting points on this drive? Yeah, we're letting the clock run, but still throwing a very non-committal approach. As Chuck will get it to Ridley, and you know, that play looks a lot better if there are 20 more seconds on the clock. Out of there and out of bounds. That's Ross. We still have a timeout. Just give me a deep shot down the sideline or something here. They bring the extra man. Chuck says, I'm going to run it. We might get a Hail Mary. Get on that timeout. It's a field goal. All right, 62 yards. Come on, Aubrey. From the parking lot. Kick is good. What a setup for the Jags, and they hit one at 62 yards to take a 9-6 lead. What a game this is. We have seen us put up 59 yards of offense, the Raiders 125. The sack yardage is really making things look bad. The quarterbacks, though, not committing a lot of turnovers. We're still seeing them, extend plays and make plays that aren't there to begin with. And here's what we've seen happen now. We have lost Tyler Linderbaum, Martin Cooper, who should be able to return, but maybe not until the fourth quarter. Alex Ratliff, he'll be done for the year with a labrum. And for the Raiders, they are down Jackson Powers Johnson and Will Slayton. That's Joseph Bowen there, stuffing the run. That was a third down and short. Joe Johnson now. He's able to find some space, make a defender miss, and get himself a nice first down run. I love how much I'm seeing the fullback on the field today. I'm really happy about that. Play fake here from Chuck. Downfield and off the mark. Can you believe this game opened with a 36-yard pass? I just remembered that happened because it was similar play. How did that even happen? We're going to fake this a couple ways and then lose 9. Third down against the Raider pressure. Chuck, this isn't going to work. And he does recover the fumble. On the move from Carpenter, and that is a nice completion. The degree of difficulty these teams have in moving the ball today is at its highest point. This is like a really interesting game to have after some of the high-scoring ones we've seen. Carpenter airs this out, and it's caught! All the way inside the 10. Goodson couldn't break it up. McAllister with a big catch that this game was waiting for. And now, eyeing the first touchdown, Carpenter off the mark. Picking up the blitz is huge, and then still getting sacked anyway is Carpenter. Third and goal, and Carpenter, can he get there? No. To the 2 and denied. And they're going to stay on. Wow, the Raiders are really playing for the win here. They took a deep shot. They didn't do that to set up a field goal. I love it. 2 yards out. Rivers! He's in! And man, he did not. I don't even know if he got to the painted grass of the end zone. I think he just broke the goal line, and that was it. But that's all you need. Here, let's go from a vertical bird's eye view. And yeah, he does end up breaking the plane here. But no, he did not actually cross the goal line. He just broke the front of it. Major credit to the Raiders on that drive, taking that deep shot, going for it on fourth down. They deserve to be winning now as a result of that. We need to do the same kind of thing now. Can we go on a good drive? Starting off, Joe Johnson, that's 9. A fake, and this is going to be a penalty marker down, which could wipe out a nice Thomas first down catch. An eligible man downfield on a play action? The rookie Gatewood. Happens a lot on RPOs, but not usually a play action bootleg. Second down and 6 now, and just getting it away. This is relentless. I don't know how you quarterback in these conditions. Not very easily, obviously, and Chuck's going to go down for another sack. That is 10 for the Raiders. Unblockable. There's Carpenter on the run, and that is a rare third down conversion today. Stuffed by Joseph Bowen. Again, set up with third down, and Bowen! He's going to end this drive. Yeah, we can't have Linderbaum play here with broken ribs. I didn't see how serious it was before. Martin Cooper, we're going to wait. The fourth is not far away. I don't know if there's anything we can do to make this a little bit easier. LaDainian Bigby is in at center. We know he's good depth. Cosme's out there, and so is Briscoe. We just can't block these guys, and our tackles are getting beat up today. Joe Johnson. I mean, I like the approach of just coming out, first down run, second down run. But that is no solution for us. We got Chuck here changing the play. I got a lot of good ones in this playbook, too. What's he got? Third down and 6 on the slant, and just enough to Ridley. And we're going on to the fourth quarter now, everybody. Season on the line in a hard-nosed playoff classic. Here's a deep drop and open. That's Ridley. Another first down catch. Joe trying to pop this run outside, and we'll take 3 on first down, I suppose. Second and 7, and again we have a conversion. This time, Nico Collins. On the slant, and Thomas. The ball has to come out quick. Doing a good job on this drive. Protected. Thomas got a step, got the touchdown. Jaguars back in front. That was the best possession of the day. Nice pocket for Chuck Johnson. And he gets behind Middleton on his way to a touchdown. We had to have Thomas step up today. All right, each team has had that one great drive. One touchdown either side. And the Jaguars, now the difference is us having that awkward rally where we're running the clock kind of, but throwing, and then we finally get into field goal range. That's the difference in the game right now. Slant, caught, hit down by Billups. It's 8 yards. That's a full yard to go. Rivers, right into Mike Goodson. Loss of 2. We have made to this point just a couple more key plays than Las Vegas. And now 6:15 left to go. What are we able to do here? Raiders blitzing, and the pass is off the mark for Ross. Kind of a rare miss there for Chuck Johnson, whose accuracies are elite. Again from the 9, underneath, and Ridley has 6 yards. Big third down. We have not converted many of these, and the catch is not made. Brian Thomas, I thought he had it. He did not. 5 minutes left to go in the game. Raiders have a catch by Livingston just inside of Jag territory. Carpenter protected and incomplete. Telfer there with good coverage. We have not seen these receivers create very much separation at all. Now the box is loaded. Carpenter for Bowers. Gotta think it's 4-down territory here in Jaguar territory. But now 3rd down and 7. Blitz coming. Handled. Caught. Just able to wrestle it away. What are we setting up here? Can the Raiders somehow make this the final possession of the game? Faking to Rivers, down the middle and nearly picked. Telfer. That would have been huge. Ezra Telfer guarding the post, and it was right in his hands. 3rd and 3, and Luke Rivers keeps it moving, inching closer to the 2-minute warning. It feels like these defensive lines are finally tired out from constantly getting into the backfield. Now the advantage has shifted. Nice catch. I still can't believe we have not seen a pick in this game, but we should have from Telfer. Looks like we're in man coverage. Pressure there. Carpenter! Touchdown! Brock Bowers. And the Raiders are in front once again. Matched up with Edger and Cooper. Coverage not at all bad. But a perfect throw, and he holds on to it. And here comes Chuck Johnson looking for one more drive, and we need the touchdown here. This is what makes the elite quarterbacks elite. Thomas Ridley starts us with 9. Johnson 2nd down, sprints ahead, all the way into Raider territory. I don't know why I still think he's only going to get 4 or 5 yards on these scrambles. It has literally never been like that. They come in 10 to 15 yard chunks minimum. 2:07 left to go. Over the middle, it's Cormier. Out of the backfield, running straight upfield he goes. And now we've hit the warning. Uh-oh, this time he does not navigate the pocket well and runs into a sack. And a field goal does us no good on this drive. Now from the 34, Johnson off balance, and there's Brian Thomas. The clock goes inside 60 seconds. Jaguars have 2 timeouts. Easy catch. Ross, timeout. Pressure picked up. Chuck, he's going to run now. Takes off all the way to the 2. How much time do we lose now? 40 seconds. Running. 20 left. We have a timeout. But running this down. Chuck, he's taken down. 14 seconds left. Season on the line. You gotta put it in the end zone, Chucky. Back to pass. Ross. No! He didn't get out. And the game is over. And the Raiders hold on to end our season. 20-16. We just took too long. I do like, running the clock down a little bit there to minimize a chance at an answer, but that was pretty aggressive. You let the clock beat you instead of the downs. And the Raiders get it. A game-winning touchdown for Brock Bowers. Man, what a game. Haven't seen one quite like that. There was never a 2-score lead in this game. Would have definitely liked to see more than 10 Joe Johnson runs given how this played out. This was a really short game overall. 30 pass attempts, 25 here, but not really that many rushes. It was just a game where the clock was constantly moving. It only stops on change of possession, incompletions, turnovers, and there weren't a lot of any of those. But a lot of bad offensive line play, that's for sure. And we lost 2 more players in that game as well. So if we had won, we would then be without Alex Ratliff and Tyler Linderbaum, adding on to a big list already. I mean, we'd be missing so much for that AFC Championship game. Raiders exit that, losing Jackson Powers Johnson, Rodney McAllister, Will Slayton. I really wanted the matchup with the Colts, man, and they did beat the Bengals. It is Packers, Cowboys on the other side. You know, I wasn't sure how many more of these runs we'd have left, so I was okay playing it a little slower here with the episodes as far as, like, you know, stuffing multiple games into a video, because I wasn't sure if this would be one of our last chances. Chuck Johnson ends up going to the Pro Bowl. So does Joe Johnson. Dominic Renard, our fullback, is a Pro Bowler. I'm excited about that. That at least makes me feel a little bit better after getting knocked out. Linderbaum is a Pro Bowler. Sam Cosmi will go as well. Nobody on the D-line. Just wasn't quite as stout as years past, but Chuck Dalton sneaks into the Pro Bowl there. I think that was really the last couple weeks playing a part. And then Brandon Aubrey also makes it. And the Colts go all the way to the Super Bowl. You're telling me they can put 35 on the Raider defense? Yeah, they might have to win the Super Bowl this year. That is incredible. On 275 yards, too. That doesn't make any sense. 3 touchdowns for Anthony Richardson. Would have loved to have our defense playing as well as they have, though. Go up against him one more time. Man, Stanley Billups would have had the chance for another legendary game. But they'll take on Green Bay in the Super Bowl. And Green Bay then flips it on Indy and dominates them for a Super Bowl title. Wow, I thought at first that I read the score that the Colts had won this, but no. 28-9. Green Bay are the champions this year. Retirements popped up as well. Max Crosby, DK Metcalf, Jeffrey Simmons, a lot of big names, including Nico Collins, CJ Gardner-Johnson, Dexter Lawrence. Yeah, that's multiple Pro Bowl rosters here at one point retiring. Jair Alexander. And here's how it ended. Green Bay controlling this game, it seems, the whole way through. Jordan Love is a Super Bowl champion. Anthony Richardson, just 119 yards passing. Didn't really get the ground game going whatsoever. And they shut down these great playmakers, Macklin and Kidd. So Jonathan Moore ends up earning his second ring then. I was looking for somebody who had some history with us in this franchise. Moore, oh, he's got star dev now. All right, that must be relatively new. Yeah, he just improved his dev trait here this week. So he gets 9.5 sacks this year, 8.5 the previous. Pretty steady production now in his career. But the season is now over. We won our Super Bowl 2 years ago, made it back the year after, fall short this time. Been wondering how much more time we spend in this series. I do think that the overall, story has kind of started and been concluded, having built up a team that has won the Super Bowl. Then we've gone a little bit further. Interest in series like this tends to fall off when we end up finally achieving that Super Bowl title. Also, it's April, so I think you couple those two things, and it's not really surprising when a series has kind of run its course and then viewership and the comments end up dropping off a little bit. I think at this point, I don't want to just hit the simulate 10-year button, but maybe controlling the off seasons and not focusing on games nearly as much could be the move. I did think that ending this series sometime here in April was probably a good move, as the series has, I think, ran its course mostly, and then I could move on to baseball and work on that and get ready for football again come August. Here are some career numbers. Chuck Johnson has now passed 20,000 passing yards with 142 touchdowns and 53 interceptions. We have followed his career now as a starter since the 2027 season. That's 5 years with 2 Super Bowl appearances and 1 ring. Joe Johnson, now 3,000 career rushing yards. He signed the big extension. Brian Thomas, 540 career catches, 7,000 yards, and over 50 touchdowns. And defensively, Trayvon Walker, 71.5 sacks. We have 19 picks for Edgerrin Cooper. For development traits, we got Joe Johnson here. He gets the bump up to superstar. And I think a power back all of a sudden getting superstar is actually a really big deal. Some of those abilities can help take his skills to the next level. Brian Thomas at star, Kevin Parker superstar. I believe that's the only thing here that's changed. And then on defense, Chuck Dalton does have star, and I believe he is now set to be a free agent. Superstar for Bowen, superstar for Cooper. I don't think much else has changed. I am enjoying the overall off-season challenges with this team now, with less cap space available and some tougher overall decisions. We have the Kevin Parker 50-year option call. That's now $33 million for 1 year. We do move on into the future with a higher cap, higher demands that I think scale pretty well at the cap now. Stanley Billups set to be a free agent. Brian Thomas, I forgot he would be a free agent. And you know that wide receiver franchise tag is not exactly small. Linderbaum, free agent. Trayvon Walker, Chuck Dalton. I think you quickly see here that $80 million does not cover everything here, especially if this franchise tag would be about 30. But I guess my quick thought here is if we pick this up, we know that the 5th-year option wouldn't kick in this coming year, but we could tag Thomas, consider it 1 more year, taking him to age 30, and then the Parker 5th-year option kicks in, and we move on from Thomas at that point where we're not going to tag him, pay this, or pay what it would take to make that interest a little bit higher to get an extension done, plus an extension at 30 versus extending a guy who's now in his mid-20s. Obviously, we would do that first. But yeah, I am not done managing this team. But I do think, I'm trying to see the best route towards taking us to the end of this series. And we could end up seeing a lot of faster seasons, especially being where we are now, 7 years complete, a couple years removed from the Super Bowl. If you want to leave your feedback down below, always feel free. I'll be checking that out ahead of recording the off-season and beyond. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all next time, everybody. Take care.